So let me ask you, Bob, why do you think pastors, therapists, counselors who are Christians, lay counselors, so we've trained all of these, why should they take the patterns for renewing the mind training?
If they're interested in personal growth, and I'm talking about emotionally, spiritually, if they should have some kind of a problem, emotional, that they're unable to handle, we're talking about them learning tools and being healed.
Mm-hmm.
My goal in training is no one leaves that training under bondage.
Yes.
Of something.
Yeah.
No one leaves. I mean, we'll do personal therapy, whatever it takes.
Mm-hmm.
And secondly, their own personal life, their families, enriched life. Do you think, would you and Karen made it as a married couple if it were not for NLP?
You know what? I always said that God brought these tools along at the exact right time, because I don't know how we would have made it if we didn't, if we had not learned how to deal with our own emotional states, how to change our thinking. I don't, because there was nothing out there that was helping me to do that up to the point. I mean, I was praying, yes, but however, when you have thoughts and stuff that come to your mind and you get frustrated, you get angry, how do you deal with that? And the tools help me to deal with that.
Yeah, there you go. And I'm hoping and praying that more and more people will learn it, and people listening to me right now, to us, that there'll be out of this group at least one, maybe two, that will really go far in learning this model, and that they'll take it to the church.
Yeah.
Let me give you a good point. I have not heard that Bob is New Age, and I'm in the same area where I was excommunicated. I've not heard that in a number of years.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I haven't. It's getting much easier.
Yeah.
But I want people to be warned. Be mindful of who you're talking to. Be mindful of the church you're at or going to. Be mindful that if it's highly conservative, what I call fundamental. If they're a bunch of fundamentalists, you might want to do like Paul, go to another city. Yeah.
Well,
be cautious.
Yeah.
But it's a lot better now.
Yeah. Well, I think one of the things I've seen over the years, Bob, is that I think people's problems have gotten much worse. And in the church, we are desperate for answers. It's like you're saying, pornography in the church has risen. It's risen among men, pastors, among the women now. I did a message at a church. I used to be an associate pastor, and this was years ago. And I said to them, it looks like the trend is that pornography is on the rise among women.
Yep.
And that was the trend. This was several years ago. So we definitely, and I think in the church, I think one of the reasons it's getting easier, because I know growing up within the Christian community, anything that had to do with psychology was anathema. It was like, nope, that's the devil's world.
Oh, that's the devil, yeah.
And now we're seeing that the church more and more, I think you still got some people who think that way. I think they're more on the outside now, they're on the fringe, because people are hurting. You know, we just had another pastor an hour from where I live who took his life. We had one here in Chino last year committed. He took his life also through suicide. And it's like, man, so we're like, I'm even more committed. We've got to get these tools into people's hands so we can help as much as we can, because, and I know the pastor here in Chino, he left behind 3 little boys and a wife.
Oh my.
Yeah. And he was pastor of a huge church right out here. It's about 15 minutes from where I live. And then about an hour from where I live, we had another pastor over the weekend, this past weekend, who took his life. And it's because of depression, and they're suffering, and they don't know how to deal with it. We had an actor just recently over the weekend died of alcohol poisoning, and he was in grief over his son who had taken his life years ago. So helping people. So we got a lot of people sitting in churches hurting. And And a lot of times they're quiet about it and they're smiling.
Let me share. You bring that up. Let me share with the group. My mother's paranoid schizophrenic. I grew up in poverty in the Appalachian Mountains. I mean, poverty. My mother's paranoid schizophrenic. She was in and out of a mental hospital all my life growing up. And the day after I finished my junior year in college, she successfully took her life. And my sister, who was a straight A master degree from Appalachian State University, never could get over her mother taking her life. And my sister took her life about 7 years later. Thank God for NLP.
Yeah. Yeah.
You take the Word of God, NLP, and you have some really excellent tools.
Yep.
I'm not saying there are others out there. Use anything that works, but don't work, ditch it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.